Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and we are at the end of the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York stinking Giants. I'll wait. I'm waiting. I'm looking at some of the people that have already joined, and I'm just wondering if we'll see Cruising, Chlorine Bleach, and some of those other giant trolls, because I told you guys, pardon me, Michael, can you turn that down just a little bit, please? I told you the one thing about me is win, lose, or draw, I will be right here. If my team stinks out the place, I'll be the first one to tell you that my team sucks. They did terrible. I'm done. And I will congratulate you and your team for beating my team. And all I ask is do the same thing. Because I have heard so much trash from all of you Giants fans all off season, and during the season. The fact that you got the 2 victories, in fact that you had 3 victories in a row, even though I pointed out that it's 6-3 out of the last 9 games, but that's okay. We're cool. I'm just wondering if any of you will show up, because if you show up and comment, you will have earned my respect, because that's what a true sports fan would do. Guys, the NFL is now on notice. Regardless of the fact that we were 13-3 last year, everybody kept saying, oh, yeah, well, Dak Prescott, he's going to get the sophomore slump. You're going to lose Zeke Elliott. Oh, you lost 2 offensive linemen. You lost Doug Free and Ron Leary. So that offensive line is not going to be the best offensive line in football anymore. Oh, you lost your number 1 pick cornerback, Morris Claiborne. Hence I call him the glass man, because he was always broken like a piece of glass. Brandon Carr, J.J. Wilcox, and Church. And you don't have a pass rush. I just want to know one thing. Now, see, I do this for fun. I would love to do this as a career. I would love to just talk about the Dallas Cowboys and football in general. I envy people who get to do this for a living. To me, it'd be the greatest job in the world, doing something that you love, covering a team that you love, and talking about football. That's a dream for me. But I look at some of these people out there that are the experts. How often are they right? We had Chris Sims, who's on Bleacher Report, who seems to be the football expert now, who had the New York Giants as his number 2 team going into the season ranking, and a Super Bowl favorite, even though they couldn't score points against the Cleveland Browns and New York Jets. He still, going into the season, had them ranked as the 3rd best team in the NFL. I believe he had the Cowboys at 8, because he said that defense of theirs was Super Bowl caliber and could even score points if needed to. Well, I got to tell you, by the looks of that offense, they're going to need to. Without a doubt. That defense is going to have to score points, because that offense was putrid. I know that they didn't have the diva that is Odell Beckham. That is a big loss, because he truly is their best player. However, I've been pointing out that all these people that say that Eli Manning is an elite quarterback, the 2-time Super Bowl MVP quarterback, yeah, well, that was in 2011. And I dare say their defense had a lot to do with that. You look at how he has played since then, that team hasn't won their division since the 2011 season. That team has not been very good. And Eli Manning is far from elite. He gets a lot of yardage because They passed the ball 62% of the time last year. They can't run the ball, and they can't protect him, and it shows. I had said before, I didn't think that the Giants were going to do that well this season. Now, grant me this, it's early. It's too early to say this is going to be the team for the whole season. Because, like I said, the first month is really like preseason. You don't really know what team you have until you get to about October. So I always say, don't get too excited about your team and start punching that Super Bowl ticket. And don't start thinking about that number one draft pick in September. However, you can get trends. And the trends that you would see with the New York Giants were exactly the same in preseason that they did tonight. So that's where we are. Now, game balls. God, there's so many that could go around because they now have the New York Giant monkey off their back. But you've got to give one to Jason Witten, the number 7 all-time leading pass catcher in NFL history, who now has more yards than any other Dallas Cowboy player in the history of the franchise. Got to give it to him. He had the only touchdown catch of the game. Way to go. And I dare say he doesn't look anything near his age. Fantastic. Next game ball, it's got to go to DeMarcus Lawrence with 2 sacks. And I told you, when they kept saying that the Dallas Cowboys can't rush the passer, I said, watch DeMarcus Lawrence. I said, he's been looking good. Nobody's been talking about it. He's in a contract year, and he is going to be playing lights out because he's looking to get paid as well as to make up for last year where it was really a disappointment. So, D-Law, you definitely get a game ball. And Sean Spider-Man Lee is a beast. He has got to be one of the best linebackers in football. You know, the old knock on him was he couldn't stay healthy. Now, I always tell you, because I get people all the time to say, you know, you need to lose the doll. Okay. He ain't going anywhere. I can't honestly say that anything that's happened with Joe Boo, he has anything to do with it. Because it may end up being a coincidence. It may be a coincidence that Charles Haley changed his profile picture to Joe Boo and he gets in the Hall of Fame. That's a coincidence. It may be a coincidence that we recreate the scene from Major League in 2014 in Tony Romo's locker and he has the best year of his career. Just a coincidence. But right after Sean Lee had his knee surgery, I met Sean Lee. In fact, the picture in the corner there, the subscribe button, was from that day. Sean Lee saw Joe Boo and said, dude, that's the coolest thing ever. Can I take it home? I said, dude, you can't take Joe Boo with you, man. That's my mojo. But he actually, and I have it on film, said, Joe Boo, I need you to keep me healthy and on the field. And since that time, he has become one of the best linebackers in football, along with 2 straight Pro Bowls. Now, I can't say that had anything to do with it, but I tell you what, I'm not going to risk it. So Joe Boo goes nowhere. But Sean Lee is a man possessed. He doesn't do a whole lot of talking. You see him in interviews, his eyes are straightforward, you know, the good old death stare and everything. But Sean Lee is amazing. The way he can sniff out a play, boom, lay the wood. He is quick. You see him dart and weave and stuff, get in there, boom, get the tackle and go. You see him watching Eli Manning's eyes, leading it to the ball. He is the total package when it comes to linebackers. You know, you wish that he had been able to stay healthier in his younger years, but right now, he is a beast. Definitely. He's got to get a game ball. And the thing I told you guys, that 2 things I said we need to make a deep run. Turnovers and sacks. Well, Anthony Brown got an interception, which is fantastic. And we ended up getting sacks from, like I said, DeMarcus Lawrence got 2, Tapper got 1, Stephen Paya got in on 1 with D-Law, and we got lots of pressure. Cruising. Oh, man. Cruising. Shout out to you, dog. You actually showed up. I tell you what, I'm going to give a game ball to Cruising 25 because he is man enough to show up in here after the Giants got their butt kicked. And I'm going to applaud you because Cruising, you now have earned my respect because there's so many fans out there that will talk trash and then you don't see them anymore if their team loses. And I respect you totally. I appreciate the super chat, $25, man. Email me your address because I will send you a Jobu shot glass, okay? So go up here to my website, cowboyjobu.com, and send me your email. Your address, so that way I can get you a shot glass. I appreciate all the support. And guys, whenever you do a super chat, I put the money back into the show because I'm constantly trying to upgrade, get better equipment, and I'm trying to make this the best YouTube channel about Dallas Cowboys and football, where you get a little bit of something that you don't get anywhere else. Now, also, guys that I feel great about, Cole Beasley. Measly Beasley, as some of them call him. I won't call him Measly Beasley because Cole Beasley is a beast. As a slot receiver, he is fantastic. Go ahead, honey. My wife has woken up, and she was actually down here all night with us watching the game. So that was a slow clap. Clap for my wife for being here with me and stuff. Johnny, just come on through. Okay. She's trying to make her way through without going on camera. Nobody wants to be on camera with me. I don't understand it. But then again, no, I can't turn it off for a second, honey. Cole, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. But if you super chat, do me a favor and leave a question, a comment, or something, so that way I can definitely share it. I tell you what, I'll change cameras for you, honey. I will go to this camera. So if you duck down, you won't be in view. Okay. All right. That was the wife going by. So everybody say hello to my beautiful wife. Yeah, she says goodnight all. Cole Beasley, that catch on his name tag, holding onto the ball with one hand, whether you're a Cowboy fan or not, you got to appreciate that. That was an amazing hold on to the ball. Lyle Collins against JPP did a fantastic job. Excuse me. Did a fantastic job on stopping them. Where everybody said that the offensive line was going to be, losing a step. We are better off having Lyle Collins than Doug Free. That is an upgrade. Chaz Green. Chaz Green did not get hurt. That's been the problem with Chaz Green. Chaz Green actually moved well on the pulling and everything else. Blocked great. The only problem with Chaz Green has been him staying healthy. So I am ecstatic about those guys. They've done a fantastic job tonight. The team in general played really, really well. The only thing that I will say that I will have a knock on that worried me was the second drive when we were first and goal on the 2-yard line and Jason Garrett got pass happy. The one knock that I always have with Jason Garrett is he digs the pass too much. And there's times when you need to just run the ball and try and get in there. At least one of those plays you need to try and run the ball in there. But we ended up doing 3 pass plays and kicking a field goal. And in my mind, I kept worrying about, okay, are these field goals going to come back and haunt us and kick us in the ass? Because, you end up winning the time possession, you end up winning in yardage, but you're only up 6-0. A touchdown ends up putting them in the lead. So that was the thing that worried me. But for a first game of the season, I feel really, really good. And now let me give a shout out to all you people that are on here. The chat line is just going like crazy, and it's hard actually to keep up. But I see Ricardo, Chris White, Carlos, Go Getter, Lewis, Ruben, Ryan, Jimmy V, Curtis. What jersey is he wearing? Jason Garrett. Okay. Jimmy V. This jersey is a Cowboy. Let me see if I can turn around here. Cowboy Jobu jersey. It's not a Jason Garrett. It's not a Kellen Moore. It's Cowboy Jobu for the 2017 season. Every season, I get a new jersey and I change Jobu's number. So I got a 2013, a 2014, a 2015. No, actually, I don't have the 2015. I didn't get one made on 2015, and we know how that season turned out. Had 2016, got 2017. So hopefully, this will be a good jersey to keep, and hopefully the Cowboys will keep winning. And that's an answer to that question. Agree with passing. Dem boys, the heck with those Giants. Okay. Oh, Michael. I was trying. Here's the thing about Ben McAdoo. Ben McAdoo, the coach of the Giants, who's got to be one of the funniest looking guys that you've ever seen. It seems like he has just been talking more trash. No, actually, I'm not drunk, Pablo. I'm actually just kind of tired because I was up most of the night doing the pulled pork. But Ben McAdoo, who originally said, it doesn't matter who's at running back when there's no holes to run through. Oh, okay. Well, apparently there were holes to run through because Zeke had over 100 yards, 104 yards, I believe. Then he came back and said, if you know who's playing in the secondary, please let me know. Yeah, you might want to find out because they definitely stopped your guys. And then we had such a spirited practice. Not a game. We're talking about practice. And if we practice like that in December and January and February, and that's where I said, oh, wait. Are you saying that your team is a Super Bowl caliber team? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I believe you pissed off the football gods now. I had said before, I don't think the Giants would be better than 8-8. That was my prediction first part of the season. I said, I believe the Redskins will be in the basement. I said, I think the Giants will be next. And then I think the Eagles will actually be second in the division. So we'll see how that works out. The Eagles took care of business against the Redskins, but the Redskins look dysfunctional. We'll see how that works out. It's still early. Oh, there's Daniel. Yeah. Well, here's what's interesting. Again, I always like to look at the talking heads. These guys that are making a living at talking about football. You know, when those Giants signed Brandon Marshall, oh my God, you put Brandon Marshall out there, this offense is going to be unstoppable. But I said, wait a minute. The Giants' problem wasn't passing the ball. I said, Brandon Marshall is not that big an upgrade over Victor Cruz. Brandon Marshall's been going downhill for a while. I said, your problem was offensive line and running the ball. Two things that they didn't address. So when everybody kept saying, oh, that offense is going to be great because you've got Eli Manning, that Super Bowl MVP quarterback, and you had Brandon Marshall, they're going to be unstoppable. How are you going to stop all those guys? Okay. And I said, because they're going to be one-dimensional, and Eli Manning is a turnover machine. So Brandon Marshall got one catch in garbage time. Yeah. I think I have to agree with you, Ricardo. I kept saying that, even though the experts have been saying that this defense, they lost all these players. They don't have anybody special. They didn't sign anybody. And I got to tell you, signing a whole lot of free agents doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win. In fact, more times than not, it doesn't really help you. In fact, it usually sets you back. I believe, and I said this before, New England has built their team the right way for years. You get guys young, you try and stockpile draft picks, you bring in young guys, you play them right away. When they become studs, you let them go. in free agency. You get compensatory picks back, and you keep reloading. Well, this year they decided, you know what? We don't know how much time Tom Brady has left. We're going to go all out. We're going to sign a whole bunch of guys. Okay. And they go out and they basically lay a goose egg the first game. Now, we'll see how it goes the rest of the season. But the question you have to ask is, do they mess up the way they normally play football? The Eagles famously did that with the Dream Team. Everybody thought that they were going to be the greatest things at sliced butter. Sliced bread. But it ended up being that their team ended up basically sucking and Andy Reid lost his job. So you have to wonder, is that team going to do well? Now, the Eagles, Carson Wentz actually did some really good things. He still has a long way to go, but I think they're going to be the second best team in the division. But when I start looking at the games that we saw today, Seattle could not score. Their defense played pretty well. When I look at Green Bay beat Seattle, but I'm not blown away by what they did. Now, we can enjoy this victory for a day. Tomorrow morning, I'll have the Monday morning hangover. But now we got to start focusing in on Sunday night's matchup against Denver. Denver, good defense, no quarterback. You have to look at that game as it's a possibility to win. We're going to be playing on the road, but we'll see how Denver plays tomorrow night to see how good they really are. But I don't think they're as good as everybody thinks they are. Yeah, I agree. Daniel, you're right. Denver has a great defense, but so do the New York Giants. And here's the great thing about this offense, and I've said this before. You don't have one person that just stands out head and shoulders above the rest. And actually, let me pull up the numbers here. That stands out, head and shoulders above the rest, where you say, if we stop that guy, you stop the offense. Dak Prescott moves the ball around better than just about anybody. There's not one key guy to key on. Terrence Williams, 6 catches for 68 yards. Jason Witten, 7 catches, 59 yards. Dez Bryant, 2 catches for 43 yards. Ezekiel Elliott, he got involved in the passing game. 5 catches, 36 yards. Cole Beasley, 3 catches, 32 yards. So when you look at those kinds of numbers, it's balanced. You can't say, let me go ahead and take out Dez Bryant, and it's going to stop the team because Cole Beasley will eat you up. Jason Witten will eat you up. Oh, and don't forget, you have a running game as well. And even when it looked like you thought you had Dak Prescott, he can run out of the pocket if he needs to. So it's too many things for a defensive coordinator to stop. You can't stop it all. The only way this offense stops is if it stops itself with penalties and turnovers. I got lucky tonight. No, chlorine bleach. Let me explain to you what luck is, okay? Because you can't say your team was ever in that game. Luck is you get a fumble, touchdown return that ends up winning the game. Lucky is like last year when we played you guys, and Cole Beasley dropped a short touchdown on the 4-yard line. Luck is that same game when Dez Bryant is in the end zone with a catch-no catch that is overruled. Luck is when Terrence Williams stays in bounds when he should have got out of bounds and we kicked the field goal and win. That is lucky. You guys won 2 games by a total of 4 points. You didn't run us out of the stadium. You didn't kick our ass. You won those games. And I dare say you were lucky in that first game. This, my friend, when you hold a team to 4 yards in the first quarter, the only yards you got were basically at garbage time. There was no luck. That was a domination game. We won 19-3. Your offense scored a total of 3 points, and your great defense gave up 19. So it wasn't luck. Exactly, Roger. We won the damn game, and that's that. I agree with you. Um, and Eli, okay, yeah, I agree. I've been saying this for a long time. Eli Manning is not elite. Eli Manning is not the best quarterback in our division, like some of these talking heads and experts say. Eli Manning, I gotta say, is in the bottom of our division as far as being a quarterback right now. He can't hit the broadside of a barn anymore. He's not fast enough to get away, and without a running game and offensive line, he gets exposed easy. Um, I told you I gave Anthony Brown some love because he got that interception. I am proud of him. And that's the funny thing when I'm worried about, of course, Orlando Skindrick, who went out and didn't return with a hurt hand. Is everybody kept saying, "Oh, you've got only these rookies out there. You don't have anybody that can stop anybody." But I kept saying, "You got Orlando Skandrick, you got Anthony Brown, you've got Byron Jones. You have some veterans out there." And then they said, "Well, you don't have a pass rush." And I said, "We've got guys. We don't have a war daddy, but Demarcus Lawrence, I told you guys would be really good. Stephen Paya didn't look bad. Collins had a unnecessary roughness penalty, but he's getting pressure. That whole team put pressure on Eli all night, and you've got to feel good about that. So um, the defense will definitely be a lot better than people thought, especially when our offense does exactly what they did tonight, keeping the ball away from the offense." Well, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. Um, Jackrabbit would have got worked on if it wasn't for Dak missing. Okay. Yeah. See you in December. That's right. You know what, Daniel? I may be at that game in New York where Joe Boo is 3-0 against you guys. Um, if I agree with you on that one, Anthony Brown, because people don't talk about this, as a rookie, the second half of the season gave up the fewest yards per completion of any defensive back over the last 8 games last season. So he has been a player, and he's just taking off where he left last year. Tell Jabu we need luck for our film, Cowboys film. Okay, all right. Dual Phoenix, we'll tell Jabu you need luck for your film. Um, where are the trolls? Jag, hey, Jag the Jester. What did I tell you about Calais Campbell, man? Congratulations on you getting him. I told you guys. There are so many people that said I'm just an idiot because I kept saying we needed Calais Campbell, that Calais Campbell was a difference maker. Calais Campbell is the guy I wanted on this team. 4 sacks today. 4 sacks today Calais Campbell had against the Texans. That, my friends, is a war daddy. And for all of you guys who said you're an idiot, he's too old, he's too expensive, he doesn't fit our defense. Yeah. How do you feel about that conversation right now? Tyron Smith needs to get on a diet and some better treatment. Okay. Chlorine bleach. Sean Lee has been playing really well for the last couple of years, and he definitely showed up tonight. And shout out to Jalen Smith. Um, the first play that he was in there where he kind of looked like he wasn't sure what he was doing as far as being in the hole instead of attacking the hole, I was kind of worried on that, thinking, okay, he's not sure about that leg. Another play he looked kind of slow on, but as the game wore on, he looked better and better. So I'm definitely proud of him. Hang on for 1 second, guys. I need to do one thing. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Just needed to set the recorder real quick in there. Um, Yeah, 4 sacks, Lewis. I mean, that's unbelievable. Um, Heath was out there. I believe he was a starter. Well, hey, for Kimberly, for Lyle Collins having his first start at right tackle and going against JPP. JPP didn't do much anything last tonight, so I feel good about that. In comparison to say Doug Free, it was night and day different. Everybody spam the chat. Joe Boo needs a refill. Well, actually, Joe Boo still has some of his really good stuff right there, so he doesn't need a refill, and we've got to go to work in the morning. Oh boy, you know what? Yeah, ESPN definitely hates the Cowboys. On first take, they all picked the New York Giants to win this game, even with Zeke Elliott. And I'm going to do a special video for Stephen A. Smith. I am going to call him out, and I'm going to issue him a challenge that I don't think, well, we'll see. I'm going to issue him a challenge that I think he'll take up, but we'll find out about that. Molly's crying. Okay. Snacks was definitely snacking on the dirt. I like that. Skin's hurt. Yeah. Fractured hand. We love Mark. We love our haters. We do. I need a beer. I like that. He picked us to win. I believe I have a clip of Molly saying that we're all in agreement that the Giants win. But here's the other thing, though. He may have picked the Cowboys to win at some time. Because what Stephen A. Smith does is he gives you all sides of the fence. So that way he can say, I told you that the Cowboys are going to be good in rugby season, or I told you that the Cowboys were going to be 8-8. Because if you put out every scenario, you can always say, I told you that I was right. So, yeah, he may have said that. But on Friday, I definitely have it recorded that they all said that the Giants were going to win. Well, Daniel, you don't have to turn on the TV if you don't want to hear Skip Bayless. Oops. Oh, they were definitely okay, and they still are. Stephen A. Smith is still on the whole. There were 3 different incidences where he did something, and it's like, okay, that's not been proven by anybody. That's only been said by the NFL, not anybody else other than the NFL, whose experts say that Tiffany wasn't a credible witness. Oh, you know what? I might have to watch Undisputed just to hear Mr. Ed. Skip, skip, skip. Um, Carson Wentz. Okay, Carson Wentz had a pretty good game. Kicked the Redskins' ass. First time in 5 games that the Eagles have beaten the Redskins. So shout out to them. Are you wrong? Well, Skip Bayless to me is one that just likes to start a whole lot of shit, so to speak. I didn't like him after he tried to say that Troy Aikman was gay. And all that stuff. And it seemed to me that he is definitely a guy who's just trying to throw gasoline on a fire. Remember that he was talking about how much Jerry Jones loved Tony Romo, and Tony Romo was going to be on the team in the starter this year. Yeah, okay. Um, Boy, these things are flying through. It's hard to keep up. Well, it seems like the Seattle Seahawks. It always seems like Seattle gets robbed, as well as Green Bay always gets the calls. That's nice, James, that you're getting drunk with Hurricane Bud. Be careful out there, man. Yeah, Woozy had a great game. For a rookie, he's starting out really well. Talk about Dez. Well, Dez had 2 catches for 43 yards, had a few drops and stuff, but he's stretching the field. And here's the key on that. The deeper you go downfield, the less chances that you're going to make a completion. It's just a fact. But what it does is stretching out the field, making him a threat is making you think about having to double cover him, or it will loosen up the defense where it makes it easier for everybody else up underneath as well as the running lanes. And you can see by the fourth quarter, with our big offensive line leaning on those giant players, that they were just chewing up and eating up yards for Zeke Elliott. things are just opening up. And that's the thing about this offensive line is that they're so big and so physical with the way defensive linemen have changed. Um, Football evolves. As rules change, teams change with it. It used to be you would see a lot of 320, 340-pound defensive linemen because they had to be there to stop the run. Well, when the NFL changed the rules as far as touching the quarterback as well as illegal contact and pass interference, it made it more advantageous to pass the ball because one of two things are going to happen. Either you're going to make a completion big down the field or you're going to get a penalty, in which case you're going to go ahead and get a first down. So defenses evolved by getting faster defensive linemen and defensive ends, hence guys that are 260, 270 that are defensive linemen. Well, the Cowboys de-evolved with our running game and our big offensive line. You get a guy like Tyron Smith, or some of these offensive linemen we have that are 320 pounds and physical against a guy that's 260, 270. You get pushed around for 3 quarters. By the fourth quarter, your ass is gassed, and you don't want anymore. And that's where this team gets better as the game goes on because they just wear the hell out of guys. Dak ran a lot because he was under pressure. Don't get it twisted. The Giants have a fantastic defense. The Giants' defense did stopped us a lot last year, and they will be a good defense all year later. See you later, Jag Jester. But that's the extra X factor that we have with him that you don't have with most quarterbacks. If he needs to, he'll take off. That's what people said about him in college. He's a running quarterback. Well, he ran because his offensive line was crap. He didn't have great wide receivers and stuff. And a lot of times, it was his legs to save his life. And you'll see, he's not looking to run, but he will run when needs to. His throws weren't connecting. Some of them were dropped, and some of them were off because, first of all, it was the first game of the season. Second of all, he was playing against a really good defense. Some of the passes he threw away because guys just weren't open. Yeah, Morris didn't look that great tonight. I was surprised that they ended up sitting Darren McFadden and making him inactive. But, it is what it is. Apparently, they saw something in Morris that they didn't see in yeah, I definitely saw that Seattle game, and that was a mess. He's scared to hit the hole. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Some of you guys are saying, well, Dak looked like he had a wobbly ball. He probably did a couple times. Dak didn't connect in some passes and stuff. But here's the key. Dak connected on the plays that he needed to, when we needed to, and he didn't turn over the ball. That is key. Number one is not turning over the ball because a turnover changes the game. A turnover can be a 14-point swing. And it's better to live to fight another day and punt the ball than it is to turn over the ball and make a risk that you don't need to. And that's one of those things that Dak Prescott will drive him crazy to make turnovers. He's going to do everything he can to make sure that he doesn't have turnovers. So you got to understand that that's just the way he is. I tell you what, I'll take it, as Eric Griffin put out, a 90 QBR against the New York Giants defense, a team that we didn't do jack against last year. So be thankful for what we got out of that for the first game of the season. Orlando Skandrick fractured his hand. We'll have to find out how bad it's going to be, if he's going to be playing with the club or not. But that's definitely a blow. And remember, also too, guys, remember, this is the NFC East. You can throw out the records and stuff in the NFC East. These teams know each other, and it's never an easy game. So I remember the Dallas Cowboys beating the Redskins when we were 1-15, and they were a playoff team. So, understand that this isn't like playing somebody outside of your division. This is always war and always a close game. A 19-3 score, that's huge. I agree with you, Sean, that this was definitely an improvement over last year for Dak Prescott against the Giants because we didn't do much against them, and to beat that team the way we did, dominating them on the offensive side of the ball and the defense. More than anything, what's even bigger is how well the defense played. And that defense is going to get even better when we start bringing in guys like David Irvin comes back in there. It's going to be a boost as these guys get a little bit more time underneath Rod Martinelli. That they're going to be playing even better. Tapper had a few good plays in there as well. Well, Chlorine Bleach, I'm happy that your fantasy did good. What team did well? Hats off definitely to Jalen Smith. I agree with you on that one. I told the things I said that were going to be key for us would be one that Lyle Collins took care of JPP. I said two that Des Bryant could get deep and have a pretty good game. He only had 2 catches for 43 yards, but he did get deep. And I said a pass rush, and we definitely had all 3 of those, and of course we carried the day. My thoughts on Lyle Collins: he's going to be a beast. Give him time to get used to being on that spot. Definite improvement over Doug Free. Where was Taco? Good question. We definitely did not do much with Taco tonight, but that's okay. Give him time. The scoop on Rico Gathers is he is actually on IR right now with the concussion. Well, guys, I hate to tell you this because I certainly hate to leave with 700 of you guys on here, which is unbelievable. That's definitely a new record for the Joe Boo Sports Report, but I got to go to work in the morning. We'll definitely have some more videos. We're going to break down some of the film and stuff and see what really went good, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh, my goodness, we got another super chat. 19 points, $19. I love that. Thank you very much for Morpheus D. I appreciate all you guys' super chats. This show for me means so much. You guys mean so much that I'm striving to make sure that this is the best YouTube channel that's out there. Actually, the next purchase I'm going to do is actually going to be getting a new high-powered computer system for doing the live streaming, so that way we'll be hopefully stopping some of the stop and start issues and stuff and have a clear picture, although a clear picture of this old face may not be that much of an improvement, but we definitely want to be the best show out there, and with your guys' help and support, we're going to be that. But this is a great feeling after that bitter taste that we had in our mouth all off season of listening to the New York Giants that beat us twice and losing to Aaron frickin' Rodgers. Whew. The off season is over. Week 1 is in the books, and so far, so good. I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and helping to spread the Joe Boo Sports Report and spreading the mojo. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll live stream and we'll go into the game in full details. Have a great night, and everybody in Houston and Texas that have gone through Hurricane Harvey and all the people that are dealing with hurricane in Florida right now, prayers to you guys. Hats off to you. Be safe out there. And if you can help donating in any way, be it giving blood, donating $10, whatever, do what you can to help us out. Have a great night and see you soon.